Today on The Young and the Restless, Adam and Chelsea break big news. Sally stops Nick, and Abby confronts her mother. Lily arrives at Neil's jazz lounge and smiles at all the framed photos of him set out on the table. She flashes to being a teen and hanging out with her dad in the coffee house. Daniel arrives and she's surprised to see him. "Daniel, you shouldn't be here," she points out. "This is where your mom collapsed." Daniel assures her he's fine and can't avoid the place because of a bad memory. He missed Neil's funeral and is glad he gets to honor his memory tonight. At the penthouse, Abby tells Devon the lounge is all set and it will be a phenomenal party. They kiss. She wonders if he's ready for all of this on the anniversary of Neil's passing. Devon is more than ready and very happy with everything they've put together. He tells her Tucker had a big idea for a tribute. After hearing about it, Abby declares it a major overstep. Devon appreciated the gesture. He just hopes Tucker remembers that tonight is about Neil and not him. He mentions Tucker sticking around for him and Dominic after selling his company. Abby hopes he could actually step up and be a father figure. Devon tells her that she's not the only one who thinks Tucker may be redeemable. Her mother has asked him to move in with her at the Abbott house. Abby will definitely be talking to her mom. In society, Ashley refers to Tucker's big surprise for tonight and says, "There's no going back." She admits she may have handled it a little differently, but she hopes it works out for him and that Devon sees how much he wants to reconnect. Tucker thinks it's worth a chance. Ashley tells him she's really proud of him. Tucker says, "Fingers crossed about tonight." Ashley says she still hasn't heard from Abby, but suddenly she gets a text from her. She wants her mother to come to the penthouse right away. Ashley and Tucker guess she knows. At Crimson Lights, Chelsea asks why Adam wanted to meet. Adam wanted to talk to her about the baby. He reveals they're having a girl. Chelsea smiles. "Adam, you're having a daughter?" Adam nods and says he thinks it's time they tell Connor about the baby. Chelsea asks if Sally's on board with it. Adam says she urged him to give Connor time to get used to the idea. He also wants to ensure that he doesn't hear it elsewhere. Chelsea muses that it's going to be a shock to him. "What do you suggest?" Adam recalls that she said Connor will be a great big brother, and it could be great for all of them. Chelsea says he'll be back from soccer practice soon, no time like the present. In her suite, Sally feels the baby move and flashes to Victor telling her he wants her to leave town and let her daughter be raised at the ranch. Nick arrives, pecks her on the lips, and asks if she's okay. "I understand my father summoned you to meet with him. He wants to hear what he said to her." Sally says, "It was not what she expected. We want these daytime characters back. #soaps. Sally tells him there's no need to panic. She's not drowning in tears. Nick takes that to mean he was right, and his father gave her a hard time. Sally guesses Adam told him about the meeting. Nick confirms it. "We're both very concerned about you, Sally." Sally can't blame them. She's surprised he didn't storm into society. Nick admits Adam advised against it. Sally admits it wasn't a fun conversation and his father is intimidating. Nick asks if he went off on her. Sally says he was friendly at first, but it didn't take long for him to drop the act. Eventually he laid out his real agenda. "Your father will do whatever it takes to keep me away from you, Adam, and the rest of his precious family." At the penthouse, Abby asks her mother what she could possibly be thinking. Ashley says Tucker was seriously ready to leave town, and she knew that he wanted to be close to Devon and Dominic. Frankly, she wasn't ready to see him go. Abby exclaims, "Oh my God." Ashley protests, "I've got my eyes wide open." Abby finds this a little pathetic. Ashley tells her to watch her mouth. She sees a good man who wants to do the right thing but always does the wrong thing. Abby can't believe she asked him to move into their family's home. Suddenly, she realizes this is about Uncle Jack. Ashley denies it. That wasn't the primary reason. The reason was Tucker. Abby thinks she's going to regret this in so many ways. Ashley hopes she's wrong and hopes this won't come between the two of them. They hug. Ash asks to say hello to Dom. Abby says he's sleeping, and she has to get ready. Ashley will see her at the tribute. At the jazz lounge, Lily greets Devon with a hug. He says there will be a lot of love in the Neil Winters Jazz Lounge tonight. Picking up a photo, Devon says he can't believe how much time has gone by. There's so much he wanted to say that he never got a chance to. Lily urges him to do it tonight. He's looking down on them and is very proud. Lily greets Mariah when she arrives at the party. Maria tells Daniel that she's sorry for his loss. He thanks her. Maria asks if it's weird to look at her and be reminded of Cassie. Daniel says it makes him think of her. But it's not weird. He offers to get the ladies drinks. Lily sends him for wine. Sharon walks up, and she and Lily talk about Moses and Faith not being able to make it tonight. Across the room, Nikki and Victor reflect on Neil, who Victor refers to as a good friend. Devon walks up and says the feeling was mutual. They muse that it's not the same without him. In Sally's suite, she tells Nick to calm down. She can feel the tension rolling off of him. Nick assures her he's fine and asks her to tell him what his father said to her. Sally explains that he congratulated her about the baby, and then brought up her past, saying that her daughter would never feel alone like she did. Nick thinks it was a real smooth way to set her up. Sally admits she thought for a second that he was going to give her a chance. He apologized for tanking the negotiations with Jill and offered to make it up to her. Nick asks, what was the catch? Sally says he went in for the kill by offering to set her up anywhere in the world, but the baby would stay in Geno City with the real Newmans. Nick shakes his head, fuming. Nick says this is vintage Victor Newman. Sally explains that Victor still thinks she's the person she used to be because he's never gotten to know her. Being part of her daughter's life means more than anything he could tempt her with. She recaps that now he's shown his hand so she knows exactly what she and her daughter will be up against. Nick is sorry he disrespected her and assures Sally that he and Adam have her back. Sally doesn't want to talk about it anymore. It's exhausting worrying about what Victor might pull next. Nick tells her to get some rest and grabs his jacket. She guesses he's planning to go confront his father and says, No, I'm not letting you leave. At Crimson Lights, Connor's pleased to see his parents together and hopes the family meeting isn't about school. Adam announces that they're adding a new member to the club soon. Connor looks puzzled. He asks, who's joining the family? Adam says that Sally's having a baby girl. Connor says, sweet, and assumes he'll have another cousin since Sally's with Uncle Nick. Adam explains that he's the father. Connor's jaw drops. Chelsea says, which means you'll get a baby sister. Adam chimes in that families come in all shapes and sizes. Connor wonders if Chelsea is okay with this. Chelsea reassures him. Connor shrugs, can I go upstairs now? Chelsea wonders if Connor has any questions, but he doesn't. Adam says they're there to talk whenever he likes. He assures the boy he'll always love him, and the little girl will never take his place in his heart. Connor says, cool. Can I go? After, Adam tells Chelsea he's not sure if that was good or not. She tells him to give it time. He smiles, imagining Connor meeting his little sister for the first time. Chelsea reflects on their big extended family. Abby arrives at the party and says hello to Nikki and Victor before walking over to kiss Devon. He explains that Jack isn't coming, which is understandable. Abby gripes about her mother and Tucker but says, seeing Daniel, the last thing she wants to do is complain about a difference of opinion with one of her parents. Next, Devon talks to Mariah, who tells him she's moved by the photos he and Lily put together of Neil. She explains that Tessa's at home with the baby. They talk about their kids growing up together. Maria says they're going to be best friends like us. Nearby, Abby hopes it's not too difficult for Daniel to be there. Daniel reassures her and tells her the place looks amazing. Abby enjoyed helping out. Daniel and Abby agree it's nice to see Lily and Devon getting along again. Abby wonders if they'll be seeing more of him. Daniel says he works at Chancellor Winters and he and Lily are friends, so maybe. At a table, Sharon speaks to Lily, Nikki, and Victor about Neil. Just then, Ashley arrives arm in arm with Tucker. Victor looks unimpressed. In Sally's suite, Nick grins and tells Sally if he was determined to go confront his father, what makes her think she could stop him. Sally croons about using her feminine wiles on him as she strokes his tie. Instead, she'll insist that he spoons her so she can rest for a bit. Nick agrees and kicks off his shoes. They climb onto the bed and cuddle. Sally tells Nick, everything's better when you're around. He feels the same way about her. At the party, Nikki warns Victor that tonight isn't the time for his questions about Ashley's interest in Tucker. Victor assures her he'll leave it tonight. Lily calls for everyone's attention and explains that they are there to honor Neil's memory. Devon adds that they're going to keep tonight simple and offers up cocktails and mocktails that were Neil's favorites, thanks to the lovely Abby Newman. Everyone applauds. Lily introduces the pianist from the Hamilton Winters label, who will be playing their dad's favorites tonight. Devon explains they want to honor Neil with stories, music, and recognition of his lasting legacy in Genoa City. Suddenly, a woman's voice says, "I'm so glad I made it in time." It's Devon's mom, Yolanda Hamilton. Devon beams. Ashley and a smiling Tucker exchange a look.